Visayas. Why I said I come from New York. I want to start off by thanking all of you for such a warm welcome. We are certainly honored to be here in your presence and for you to give us the opportunity to participate in this project and to be in your country and for hosting us with so much graciousness. Like Leah mentioned, today, after we saw all the expectations and projects that have been built up for us to work on, we now want to give a little bit back to you, our clients, and tell you a little bit about us. Some of the fun stuff about who we are, where we live, what we do in our spare time, but also a little bit of our professional background, a little bit of our expertise, and what motivates us to be here. I think we're good. Yeah, perfect. But I didn't want to do that, so everyone is going to have a few minutes to talk about themselves. That's kind of the format we've done, 2 or 3 minutes. We'll go into some fun facts and details about us. But I wanted to get started to touch upon a point that I think is important, and that is to remind everyone why this is important for IBM. I think Andrea Spallona gave an introduction about the IBM CSC. And what I wanted to touch upon and give a little bit more background on is why IBM came up with this idea. What is behind it, this whole concept? And a few years back, IBM started looking back at its major accomplishments that have happened in the 100+ years that IBM has been around. And they said, well, we've grown into a global company which has about 400,000 employees in total. We've grown into a company which has expertise not only in IT and software development, but also in marketing, finance, business process services, right? So in every year for the last 14 years, IBM has named the leader in patent development around the world. So you look at all these accomplishments and you realize that, first of all, there's a lot that has happened in that time, but also we started thinking, what can we do to have more impact on the world we live in today, right? Yes, we are a technology company. Yes, we market and sell technology products. But what we really want to do is impact the world we live today to make it a better place. To answer questions like issues in education, healthcare, governance, the environment, things like climate change and so on. And what we came up with is we, as a company, want to invest the resources we have around technology and innovation to create a smarter planet. And in the past few years, this has become really our agenda, much more than just a marketing strategy. It's a commitment for us to open our resources the way that we are doing today through the CSC program to the world, in the sense that, like I said, so many skills are concentrated in IBM, and we're kind of opening those skills to the rest of the world to help drive those initiatives to make the world a smarter planet. So with that introduction, again, I think we've already learned a little bit about the details of the CSC program and how we came here, but this was developed about 2 or 3 years ago. We started as a pilot. IBM said, we don't even know if this is going to work. We got to talk to, we got to see if there's motivation for the IBMers to do this. We got to go to the local countries and find out if people will find that this investment is necessary. And the truth is that the response has been overwhelming, not only from the side of the IBMers like ourselves, which we all raised our hand and said, yes, we were waiting to do something like this. We have been waiting for something innovative and creative for us to continue to impact the communities that we live in. But it's also been an overwhelming response in very positive terms from the local countries that host us. So that has basically doubled the program in size in very little time. So hopefully we'll be able to continue to see these types of programs being made available in Philippines and across the world. For us, it's not only an experience where we get to share some of our knowledge with you as our host country, but like other people have mentioned, it is a win-win situation. We are going to be learning as much from you than what you are going to be learning from us, probably more for our side, because we're going to get to experience different cultures. We're going to get to experience different business challenges And we're going to be able to take all of this back home and apply it into our regular 9-to-5 jobs. All right? So I think that's enough about the history of why we are doing this, why we are here. I want to go now to a little bit about me, Juan. So I was actually born in the island of Puerto Rico, which some of you know because it shares some of the common history with Spain. We were also a colony of Spain for many years before we were turned over to the Americans in the Spanish-American War. So this is where I'm from. It's a little island in the Caribbean. And right now I live in New York. This is where I actually reside for the past few years. And I work in New York City and also in corporate headquarters in Armonk, New York. My native language is Spanish, as you may all already know. But I also speak Portuguese because my wife is Brazilian, so in order to conquest her, I had to learn her language, so it was important. And I also learned French and, of course, English in my school years. I am married. Like I said, my wife is Brazilian. I am going to be a dad in December. So, thank you. It's going to be my first child, so I am very excited. It's going to be a little girl, which we will name Isabella. I live in a small town next to New York City called Hoboken. An interesting fact about Hoboken is that it is the land of Frank Sinatra. This is where he was born. So throughout the year I get to experience a lot of Frank Sinatra wannabe contests. And the one thing that not many people know about is that I am an amateur guitar player, and like you saw a little picture there, I sometimes bring out my guitar and provide some entertainment for my guests. I did used to be in a band when I was in college, so many years ago. So now it's kind of an amateur hobby that I have. And let's go back one slide. Another one? There. So the left picture there on the side, you see all the snow, which I assume you don't get much here in the Philippines. That is my street where I live in the Hoboken town. And then on the right side is a picture of me and my wife. All right? That's a little bit about me, cultural background. A little bit of my professional background and what I think the expertise I bring to share with all of you. First of all, my day job, what I do for a living, is I am a marketing consultant. And I work in IBM's corporate headquarters in New York. That allows me to travel around the world and provide marketing consulting for different countries. So it's a pretty interesting job. Some of my specialties are around marketing strategy, advertising tactics, so trying to think what's the best way to tell the message in different countries and different ways in order to get the attention of our customers. Competitive analysis, so what is our competitors doing? Are they doing it better? Are they doing it worse? And how can we improve upon that? And finally, demand generation. One thing is to brand your product, right? Like IBM is a great brand, but the other thing is to sell your product. How do you generate demand for products? So those are kind of my skill set that I bring with me to the table. I've worked in different projects across the world, in China, UK, Brazil, and recently in Canada, which is our friendly neighbor. I have an undergraduate degree in computer science, so I am a technologist at heart. But in the last few years, I've turned that passion around into, again, marketing and strategy. I also hold a graduate degree in business, so it's basically what you all call an MBA. And an interesting thing about my professional career is that I joined a startup when I was 22 years old. A few years after college, and I was part of a team that developed the first kiosk ticketing system in the Caribbean. And you can imagine that's basically a technology that for the touch of a screen, you basically are able to obtain tickets to any event around the island. So Puerto Rico had a pretty interesting need for a ticketing system that would handle all of their events, like concerts, sports management, theater, and this system was kind of centralized that was deployed around the island. So it was a pretty fun endeavor. And these two pictures here, again, the Smarter Planet kind of icon. This is the kind of stuff that I work on, what we talked about originally. And this is the office I belong to in Armonk, New York. All right, so now I'm going to pass it over to the other colleagues for them to introduce themselves. I think I'm going to be followed by Sarah, who is our